right, there we go. So welcome to the line tonight, guys. We have a pretty unique call that we've been running just about every other week lately because we've found there's kind of a huge niche with healthcare providers and secondary income streams, healthy hustles. Many of the people that are on my team in particular are healthcare providers that gravitated towards these products for the nutrition, but also we gravitated towards it because of the clinical data, and serendipity would have it that we then leaned in and learned the business model and created secondary income streams for ourselves. So tonight is really, we're really here, Christine and I are here to cast a vision for you. It's going to be, we're going to get into the weeds about science, but we're also going to get in the weeds about business. So it's an interesting call that really caters towards the geek like Christine and I, who are also fascinated in entrepreneurship, time freedom, and how can you leverage your passion for caring for others to create an additional income stream for yourself that can create more freedom in your own life. So I am going to turn it over to Christine in just a second. She's actually going to be leading the functional medicine kind of healthy hustle aspect. She's going to talk about kind of the trends and where we're headed and why Isagenix is an incredible company to partner with. And then she'll turn it back over to me, and I'm actually going to dive deeper into the actual business model, the financial model itself, because you may want to know just as much about the clinical data as you do how you actually make the money on the back end. So this is just a taste of all of that tonight. I would suggest the questions that you have, hold them because we want to keep this presentation tight and bring those questions forward to the person who invited you to this call. We have incredible tools and resources that we can reach back out to you and give you all the information that you want to know. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Christine Manukin. She is a pharmacist out in LA, well, outside of LA, I guess, Hollywood, right? Beverly Hills, I guess. And she's been with our team and with our company for nearly 5 years. One of the top recruiters, executive on our team, has won a competition after competition after competition. She's an incredible leader, but she's smart as a whip. So I'm going to turn it over to her and let her lead you through why Isagenix, why functional medicine, and why healthcare providers should be looking at this as an opportunity. You're muted.
Thank you. I forgot you muted everybody, so thanks for doing that. So yes, welcome to the call, you guys. First of all, I'm so grateful to be on the call today because a lot of you are going through a very stressful time right now, and I want to make sure you guys are coming into this opportunity with a full open mind because life is changing, the world is changing, and I want to make sure you guys are participating in level 10. Since my technology has failed on me, I really apologize. We will not be seeing my beautiful slides. I spent so much time preparing, but that's okay. I will be more than happy to record another version of this and share it with everybody. So with that said, I want the chat room to go on. I want to hear where everybody's from. So if Melissa can keep up with the chat, so that way I can focus on my presentation. I have 2 laptops going on. It is fine. So at the end of this presentation, I'm really asking you guys to make a decision. Just figure out what's going to work for you. I want you to all find a purpose in your life that you really want to leave an impact in this world. And I want you all to take an action because a lot of times we find ourselves like listening to amazing presentations and that's it. We just like forget about it and we don't do anything about it. So my goal is today not to be your functional medicine practitioner. I'm not, as a disclaimer, this is not to give you any medical clinical advice. I'm here to educate you of what's possible, and I'm being very vulnerable today, sharing my journey in hopes to help someone to change their life. So I want you to all think about, like, are you living your ideal life? Does any of these following things sound like it's you? Are you dragging long days and day after day and you find yourself, it's so impossible to find energy to make dinner, to be fully present around your kids, to play with them, to go to work out, to go for a meetup after work, just to spend time with people? Or are you just hustling day in and day out? Are you finding yourself waking up in the mornings and already feeling exhausted? Are you finding yourself unable to fall asleep due to insomnia or stress? Are you one of those people who is trying to lose some weight or fat, and nothing is working and you can't figure out why. What is it that you're doing wrong? Is your health interfering in becoming the person you dream to be? Are you living paycheck to paycheck? And are you saying no to certain things because of the financial burden? Are you feeling like, what is possible? What can I do to feel my best? What can I do to make my vision and dreams come true, but I just don't know where to start? Are you tired, being sick and tired? And are you living day by day, waiting for the Friday to clock out so you can have a couple of days off? Are you one of those people who get to spend about 2 hours at home with their kids because they are in after school program till 6 p.m. because that's what you can afford, because you cannot afford to pick them up sooner because we all have full-time jobs? Are you finding yourself trying to like make payments on your student loans because it's there? And the healthcare professional just like me, you must have a lot of student loans. And all you can do is just to make the bare minimum. And now you're finding yourself like 25 years later, you're still paying off your student loans. So if any of these statements resonate with you, you're not alone. I was just like you. And what I just described, it is my story. I share my story to inspire other people to take action. I share my story for someone to change their life and possibly save their life. I share my story so my kids grow up knowing what's possible if they have a desire to pursue their dreams. This is why I do what I do. As a mom of two kids with my son and my daughter, I found myself stuck in the scenarios I was just describing. I was hustling. I was doing everything I could, but I let myself go. Found myself in the doctor's office for my physical and hearing my doctor tell me that if I don't change my life, and if I don't take this lipid lowering medication for my high cholesterol, I may have a heart attack by the time I'm 40. Well, that was something I did not want to hear. That was not something I wanted to walk away from. And as a pharmacist, medications are not my top priority. I don't want to be one of those people who's taking medicines just to cover up or just to like not asking more questions. So I came home and I was actually asking God to like help me find a way to change my life, because I know there has to be a way. And Mother's Day weekend in 2015, so 5 years ago, my dear friend of mine, which I'm forever grateful for, Dr. Sadie Cox, she saved my life. She was brave enough to introduce me to this opportunity. She was brave enough to share her story to inspire me to take action. And that day I said yes. I said yes to Isagenix without knowing what to expect. I was extremely skeptical because I had no idea what this is. I had no idea how nutrition can help your life. I had no idea what is possible because I've never been surrounded with people like her to know what's possible. But I was very open-minded and I was desperate to change my life. And fast forward, I became the best version of myself. I became an athlete, you guys. If you haven't seen me, if you don't follow me on social media, you will see like I started doing bodybuilding shows. I was the Wonder Woman on stage, and I just recently completed a marathon. I mean, come on, who would have thought that nutrition can save someone's life just like this? And no, I'm not having a damn heart attack. My cholesterol is imbalanced. I'm living the best version of myself because I said yes to me and I was very open-minded. So if you find yourself being stuck and not knowing what else is out there and you keep failing, well, let me tell you, it's not you're failing. Today's medicine is what's failing us. All of our doctors are trained to diagnose us. All of our doctors are amazingly trained with like years and years of experience to find diagnosis, to run some like very basic lab work to find out what's wrong with us, okay? However, we as a healthcare professionals, we are not trained in holistic health. We are not trained in nutrition. We're not trained to teach our patients that proper diet is probably a better option than a medication to lower your blood sugar, okay? Let's focus on that versus, giving medication after medication. So what I want you to really think about is when I changed my life, I didn't know this was possible also. So when I started looking and learning and found all these changes in my life, I realized something else is going on in my life that's changing. I realized this herbal botanicals that are going in my body is what's helping me and changing my life. So I started learning more. As a healthcare professional, I didn't know anything about herbal medications. And this is not something you hear about because drug companies do not want you to learn what else is out there. It's not that exotic. It's not that sexy to talk about herbals and how simple remedies can help your life. But I fell in love with functional medicine, and 5 years in, I enjoy my lifestyle because I know what else is out there, and this is something that I can definitely tell with the confidence that there is a way. Functional medicine, if this is the first time you're hearing this word, you'll be like, what is she talking about? Well, trust me, I knew that. I know exactly how you feel because, again, I had no idea what that meant also. Nobody talks about that. And functional medicine is another way of looking at your body as a whole. So traditional medicine, like let's say you have a headache, you go to your doctor and it asks you some basic questions in that 5 minutes that you're there. And the doctor's like, well, looks like you have migraine. So here's a medication for you to go take and come back and let me know how you're doing. Maybe 6 months follow-up if you're lucky to get on their schedule. Maybe a year follow-up. Well, that's the traditional medicine. In functional medicine, our physicians or healthcare professionals, we're trained to look at your body and whole. Well, maybe there's a hormonal imbalance that's happening in your body that's causing you the headaches. Or maybe you have some issues in your gut that you're not absorbing the vitamins and nutrients and you're vitamin deficient and you're not able to do that. You guys, there's so much more that's going on in your life that you may not know about. So instead of just putting a patch, a pill to you, we are actually looking into your entire lifestyle. We're looking at your entire life of environmental changes, your diet, your exercise, your mental health, everything, because you cannot just look at one organ and then try to figure it out what's wrong with you. So especially nowadays, it's so sad to see a lot of chronic illnesses are actually going to get worse. I was talking to another fellow colleague of mine, and they're saying like a lot of people are kind of letting themselves go because of this whole quarantine stuff. They're not taking care of themselves the way they should be. So if you're somebody, if you know somebody with diabetes, please reach out to them and tell them, you know what, just because life happens, please don't forget to like stick with your regimen. Make sure you get your exercise in. Make sure you keep your nutrition on point. There's no reason to be binge eating like a bucket of ice cream just because. Okay, so our chronic illness patients are going to get worse because, again, they are still trying to get used to this new norm, especially our elderly population. And they are going to miss out on so many important doctor's visits because they are told to stay home, and we can't blame them. We do want you to stay home. But again, I'm just kind of worried after we come out from this entire quarantine, our health is going to be even worse situation than it was before. So I'm not telling you we don't need traditional medicine, but I'm also trying to educate you with that. We need to ask more questions when we see our physicians. I'm here to educate you that simple things in life can make a huge difference, and you don't need to have like extremely like fancy like degrees behind your name to be able to ask those questions. So for example, like in the functional medicine world, like I ask all my clients, you know, if somebody says they have allergies, the first question I ask them is like, well, have you changed your filter in your house the last 6 months or a year? And some of them don't even know they should be doing that. So instead of just telling them, well, go get some allergy medicine over the counter, well, guess what? Let's attack of what's going on in our household before we make that changes. We talk about inflammation of our body. We talk about stress. We talk about meditation. We talk about sleep, which is so important. And one of the top priorities in my life, which I think everybody should do, is detox, because again, you need to do that. Otherwise, your body is just going to give up one of these days. I mean, you have to do that. So I wanted to share some statistics with you. And again, I'm talking to you as a healthcare professional that I chose to partner with this amazing company because there's so much that's going on in this world. And doing my research, I knew this is what I feel home is. Our trends nowadays, over 71% of adult population in North America are obese. And you see the industry in the fitness world, it's reaching about $83 billion just from the gyms alone. And the beauty industry, let's not talk about that, $331 billion by 2021. I know there's a lot of jokes floating around between a couple of our friends. We're like, well, now we're all going to see who's going to need the Botox done by the end of the quarantine. It's true. You know, beauty industry is blooming, you guys. And this is something that a lot of people are looking into as well. So imagine partnering with a company that actually does all of those. You will address your health, your physical health, your mental health, your healthy aging, and all of the above. And I feel so blessed to be partnered with this amazing company. Actually, yesterday we celebrated our 18th birthday. So happy 18th birthday to Isagenix, to the company that changed my life. And our mission is to impact world health and free people from physical and financial pain. And in the process, to create the most trusted and respected health and wellness company in the world. And I stand behind that path with purpose, because I see myself doing that one person at a time. So we have solutions for everything. Today, definitely we're not going to have a lot of time to talk about a lot of our products. But again, we have solutions for weight loss. You've seen my journey. If you follow me again on social media, you know I'm a huge advocate for using supplements for performance, because it's helping me with quick recovery, making sure I am able to get back to my running or back to the gym and feel great, and versus taking like a couple of days off just to recover from soreness. We have an amazing product line specifically for vitality and well-being, such as our oils, our essential oils, which are a game changer, and personal care and beauty products too. I stopped shopping for any other beauty products because my company provides amazing skincare line, which I use and have been using the last 5 years. And not but not least, Melissa will cover briefly at the end of my presentation a little bit about our financial opportunity, because again, we all need that in our lives. So with that started, I'm going to focus on the 4 core products that our company has provided. And this is actually our founding products when it launched 18 years ago. So the first product that I am a huge advocate for is detoxing your body. There are so many many detoxes out there, so many cleanses out there, you name it. Everybody is doing that because, again, we do need to do that. Cleanse is very different from any other cleanse that's out there in the market, because this is helping your body to do a full body cellular cleanse. With that said, this is not a fad. We've been doing intermittent fasting again from day one as our company launched, but intermittent fasting has been around for centuries. This is not a first time we are hearing about this. So drinking our Cleanse for Life botanical herb, it will help you to actually detoxify your body and to actually support your body to do what it's meant to be doing. It's supporting your liver and kidneys to detoxify naturally without adding any extra stress on your body. It's fueling your body with nutrition so you can have a fun experience as you're doing your intermittent fasting. With that said, nutrition is the key, as you guys hear me talk about that. And somebody like me who has never had a shake in her life, when I heard there's some shakes involved, I had no idea what to do because I have never taken a shake in my life. And I was like, well, I don't like to be drinking stuff because I don't think that's going to keep me full. I'm one of those people who likes to chew her food. And till today, let me tell you, the shakes have saved my life. Being such a busy healthcare professional, when I leave my house in the morning at 6 a.m. to go to work, sometimes I do not have time to drink my shake. Drink breakfast or eat breakfast. So I go for my acetylene shake. And this is a full meal replacement that helps me to at least substitute 1 or 2 of my meals throughout the day. That's filled with vitamins, probiotics, and prebiotics. And also it's been clinically shown to change your alkalinity in your body within 48 hours. So how can you say no to an amazing product that's out there for you? And something to really talk about is stress management. Ionic Supreme, those of you who do use this product, you guys, I call this as a liquid gold because this product literally, legit, if I don't have it, I feel like I'm out of place. This is an adaptogenic drink. If you don't know what adaptogens are, these are herbs that actually help your body to adapt to stress, that help your body to adapt to what's going on in your environment. So if you're having a very stressful day, it's going to help you with stress. If you are having a day that you actually need more energy, it's going to help you and give you energy. So it's going to provide what your body needs. These are herbs, botanicals that help your body, like ashwagandha. Again, these are stuff that are going to help your body. And vitamins, our complete essentials with Isagenix is one of my favorite products. products as well, because again, we do get nutrition from food. This is great, but we do need to supplement. Our food is not as clean as it used to be. It's not as filled with vitamins and minerals that it used to be. Our grandparents were eating. Well, now I might have to eat like maybe 10 apples to be equal to the one apple that maybe my grandparents were eating like years and years ago. So having vitamins that are actually being absorbed in your body at the right time in the right part of your body, so your body is actually absorbing them versus just excreting in the urine or feces, and you're paying for expensive urine. So this is very important. Knowing all this, I want to tell you guys, these are recommendations, and it is very customizable. This is nutrition, this is food. This is not to tell you you'll need to have all these products every single day, but let me tell you, the minute you do, you're going to realize how amazing you're going to feel, and you're going to actually crave these products in your life, just like me, because again, you are going to feel like your best. Enough said. Okay. I also want to touch on very briefly about kids and how our society nowadays, our kids grow up eating like a lot of like food that's very filled with like sugar. It's filled with a lot of like artificial stuff as much as we want, but it is quick. A lot of our kids, especially nowadays when they're homeschooling, like I find them like constantly going to the pantry trying to grab something. Okay, it's normal. It's because again, like we are like eating out of boredom, especially the kids. They really need to have nutrition in their life. So our company has amazing shakes specifically for kids. They're called Isagenix, and they're filled with vitamins. They're not meal replacements by all means. This is just protein, vitamins, and fat to give their body enough, let's say, iron and vitamins for their growing bodies. Because again, I'd rather have them have a little shake as a smoothie. My kids love the cookies and cream smoothie, and as a snack instead of just reaching for a bag of chips or something like that. Okay, so as y'all like, especially nowadays, as y'all like looking into your lifestyle, like just realize how much time you're actually sitting down. I want you to be all aware of that, because it's found that average person sits about 15 hours a day. And it's found that a lot of us have so much stress going on in our life that we are experiencing some of these symptoms like lack of energy, motivation, and you're feeling nervous or anxious because again, we're so stressed out, you guys. I feel you. Trust me, I know exactly how it feels, especially lately where our lives have completely changed. What was normal yesterday is not the norm today in the society today. And chronic stress has been associated with numerous negative outcomes that affect your brain, which is so important, your nervous system, your sleeping patterns, your cardiovascular health, and your weight. So if you're one of those people who are just like me, who was extremely stressed out, and I was trying to lose weight because I gained like about 80 pounds during my pregnancies, and I had about 100 to lose just to be on where I am, guess what? I was focusing and I was stressing out about the weight loss, and I was not losing the weight because I was not attacking what's the underlying cause. So listen to me. So if you're having issues with anything that's going on with you, address the stress first before you address everything else. So the minute you take care of that, your body will come into balance. Your body will actually start doing what it really wants to do. So protect your body from stress with the Ionic Supreme that I was telling you about, which will help you with not only with just having mental clarity, but also focus. I don't know about you guys, but just, whether it's working from home or changing our lifestyle, like having the mental clarity is so important, especially staying focused. Like people get interrupted so much because again, our lifestyle has changed. So this is one of my things that I love to have on board with that. I'll briefly touch upon our products to help with our immunity. One of my favorite products is our Immune Shake Booster. It's a powder that you add to your shakes. It's flavorless, tastes nothing. Like you can add it to water, but I love to add it to my shakes. My kids eat it every single day as well. It's filled with like 4 different like medicinal mushrooms, and this are blend of nutrition that's going to help your body to boost your immunity. This is not to tell you like, well, if you drink this, you're never going to get sick. No, that is not correct. This is to help your body and support it to make your immune system stronger as much as possible, adding additional value to your body, okay? And this is intended for kids who are 4 and above. And again, like my kids are old enough and have been using this product ever since they launched a few years ago. Another one of our favorite products is our immune spray, which is awesome because it actually has zinc, which with all the national shortages going on with zinc, and a lot of you are struggling to find it on the shelves. Well, I have a spray that's filled with zinc, colostrum. Yes, I said it, colostrum. This is the best thing in the world that has been identified, especially with the new moms as we're nursing our little ones. That's what it is. Our product actually comes from bovine colostrum. It's filled with echinacea, again with medicinal mushrooms like reishi mushrooms, bilberry, and blueberry to help to boost your immunity. So with our company, briefly, I want to talk about the fitness as well, because again, we hear about health and wellness and we forget about fitness, especially nowadays when the gyms are closed and a lot of us are not used to working out at home. A lot of us are not used to putting some running shoes on and going and running around the block because that's not what we're used to. So it takes time to adapt to what's going on. So our company is so gracious enough to have a challenge. It's called Isabody Challenge. And this is a 16-week transformation challenge that everybody gets a chance to join. Everybody gets $200 upon the completion of their challenge. So in our household, between my husband and I, we do this challenge back to back every 16 weeks, so 3 times a year, and that's $1,200 of food delivered to my doorsteps every single year. And I've been doing this for 5 years, so y'all do the math, okay? That's a lot of money for just, you know, staying healthy and saying yes to ourselves. So not only that, but you can also have access to our app to home workouts. So we've actually been doing that with the kiddos. It's very simple. So you have access to that. And again, you guys, this is free to everybody because we believe that your transformation has to be physical, mental, and nutrition. All of the above. You cannot leave any of the aspects alone. So we want to do everything that's possible. So the reason I'm sharing you my story is because I'm not here to brag what I've accomplished. I'm here to inspire you to take action. And my passion and purpose in life is to help others to accomplish their goals without pharmaceuticals. Yes, without pharmaceuticals, just like me. And I want everybody to experience financial freedom. Melissa is going to talk about the financial freedom portion because a lot of healthcare professionals, we find ourselves being financially successful, but we do not have freedom. Remember when I shared with you spending 2 hours a day with my kiddos? That's my life. I do have financial success. I do not have freedom. I miss out on a lot of first things that are happening in my kids' lives. I miss out on their first day of trips. I don't get me started because I might start crying right now. And I truly believe everyone deserves a second chance to rewrite their story and become the best version of themselves. I'm here to, again, not to convince you to do anything else. I'm here to educate you. I'm here to share my story. I'm your friend. I'm your biggest cheerleader. I'm your coach. I'm your go-to system, your support, because again, you cannot do this alone. And whatever you do in life, please find 1 or 2 accountability partners, because if you don't do that, it's going to be really hard. And at the end of the day, it comes down to one major question. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to change your life? And with that, I am going to turn it over to Melissa, who is going to educate all of us, because there is a huge financial opportunity that's possible for all of us. If you use our products, love our products, and you're not selfish enough to share the products, there's a huge financial opportunity. I've been blessed with this financial opportunity myself as well. I paid off my student loans a few years ago, completely debt-free, and working on my hubby's student loans as well. And one day I will be retiring from my current JOB because, again, the financial opportunity is out there. So with that said, Melissa, want to turn it over to you, and I'll definitely contact you. Contact me afterwards if you guys have any questions, anything specific you want to ask me. You can find me on Instagram or Facebook, and get back to the person who's invited you to this call. They will definitely connect me with you. Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Christine, for that awesome information. I apologize in advance. During my quarantine time, my 6-year-old has done my nails for me. So I talk with my hands. So I'm just putting that disclaimer out there. So yes. So I know we got started a little late because of technical difficulties. I'm going to try to abbreviate my financial components, give you guys the cliff notes, and certainly get back to the person who introduced you if you've got additional questions. But I wanted to start with my story. I, like Christine, came into this as a product user. I didn't know anything about network marketing. I'd heard of multi-level marketing and I'd heard of the pyramid scheme, but I didn't know anything about network marketing and the power of leverage and residual income, which is what I'm going to talk about. But I put the products in my body, and within just a matter of days, I was feeling amazing. And a lot of it has to go back to that holistic approach that the nutrition takes, that I literally went from about a 5 to a 10 from an energy standpoint and sleep standpoint, quality of sleep, and just mental clarity. And when you have 2 children in diapers and you're a medical director for a pharmaceutical company and you cover half the country, that becomes really important, as it does for anyone and everyone. And so those products, coincidentally, they changed my life forever. And I was willing to lean in and learn the business model. I was willing to lean in and learn the business model because I was at a place in my career where my back was up against a wall. I had a lot of financial success, but no freedom. I was told where my territory was, how many days I needed to be out in the field. There were days I wasn't sure I was going to have a job because the rug was about to get ripped out from under me, and our territories were changing. The contracts were changing. So there was a lot of sleepless nights, even though on paper I had a really fancy, shiny title and job. I really didn't have security financially. And I've been blessed with over the 5 years that I've been with Isagenix is within 2 years of really leaning in and learning the business model with Isagenix, I was able to build a 6-figure income with Isagenix while working full time. So I'm here to tell you that you can build this business in the pockets of your time, especially if you're already passionate about health and wellness. If you have that background in health and wellness and you're a knowledgeable, credible source to many people within your network. From there, I was actually able to pay off all of my college loan debt, over $120,000 worth of college loan debt. And then I fired my boss and realized that this was a legitimate business opportunity. I've been free from corporate America for 2 years now, and I'm never coming back. I am unemployable at this point. My eyes are wide open to entrepreneurship and time freedom and being your own boss. And so that's my story. And I'd love to share with you guys a little bit about the money, because I know a lot of you are like, okay, great story, but how does the money really work? Many of you are probably familiar with Robert Kiyosaki. If you've, let's see, can you guys see that? There we go. Many of you are probably familiar with Robert Kiyosaki. If you're on the line and you're interested in entrepreneurship, you've probably studied cash flow and money and how we can make money. And so we're going to talk about that tonight. But the reality is, before I get into that, people are working differently. And I think that this slide underscores our reality right now. How many of you are home, working from home now because of this virus, right? Like, but even before the virus, people have begun to work differently. The future is changing, right? Think about the largest transportation company doesn't own a vehicle. It's Uber, right? The largest hotel company doesn't own a hotel. It's Airbnb. The fastest growing trends to shop is online, right? And we are right there in the thick of it, where consumers can't leave their house right now. I think we're going to be changing the way people really live life over the next decade. But now we have an online health and wellness store that's similar to Amazon, where people can have their products shipped to their front doorstep in the convenience of their home. And you, as potentially a healthcare provider, can participate in this franchise, in the global growth of this company, where people literally order these products from a phone in their hand, shipped to their house, and you're not holding any inventory. So the economy, again, it's evolving. I've kind of alluded to that with Amazon and Airbnb, but people are finding hustles. They're finding different ways to make money. As pharmacists, I know lots of pharmacists, they're doing all kinds of consulting gigs on the side and coaching and picking up But the reality is a lot of them are picking up side gigs that are still trading time for money. They're not creating an actual legacy. They're not creating an income producing asset for themselves. And we'll talk about that in a minute. And the same with the online coaches and affiliate marketing. All of that is great, but it's still not a legacy. And I want to just blow your mind about legacy and residual income here in a minute. So let me bring you forward to network marketing, the industry I have come to fall in love with. Network marketing is flexible. Here I am in my office in my house at 9 o'clock at night. I've been able to tutor my kids in their school during the day today. I am uber blessed that I can work my schedule around the 3 kids who are quarantined in my house for the next 6 weeks. Uncapped residual income. I am not one of the first people that came into Isagenix, nor will I be one of the last. However, I am one of their top income earners, and I'm recognized every single year. And there are dozens upon dozens of people on our team who came in before me who are doing incredibly well, who came in after me who are doing incredibly well. So I just love that uncapped residual income, no matter where you come in. The leverage of media, which has never been more important than it is now, how we connect socially, online. It's a level playing field. The tax benefits are incredible. And we're going to talk about level playing field in just a little bit. And then there's the compound effect. Again, we're going to talk about how this business compounds and how you can grow a legacy for your company, for your family. We've been in business for 18 years. This slide is old. I need to update it. We've got well over 600,000 global customers, and we're in plenty of countries and continuing to expand. $958 million in revenue in 2019. Guys, this is a business that's just as large as some of our big pharma companies. When I look at these numbers and I look at these sales, they are no different than the sales in some of the companies that I used to work for. The timing has never been better. I am here to tell you that last week was one of the biggest weeks in my business that I have seen in a very long time. And you know why? Because people are super focused on their health right now. They are super focused on convenience and having it shipped to their house. And we have people who are really open-minded about the business opportunity and a plan B right now. So people are making money a couple of different ways. And this is where I really wanted to highlight for you guys: linear income, leveraged income, and residual income. Many of us, like Christine and myself included in the past, we're trading time for money. That's linear. You show up, you get paid, right? But let's get into Robert Kiyosaki's theory that's applied in real life with Isagenix. And that is that in the cash flow, we have a couple of different quadrants that he talks about. And on the left side of his quadrant, this is where the linear income of money comes. And this is where you are employed or you're self-employed, you're trading that time for money. You are the most important aspect to the income that's produced. You spend a lot of time to make your money. This is 95% of people, and it's only 5% of the wealth, right? Now, when Robert Kiyosaki gets to the right-hand side of the quadrant, this is where the residual and the legacy income comes from. This is wealth building. These are business owners. These are people who are investors. Now, many, myself included, when I was a multiple six-figure income earner in corporate America, thought that the only way I would continue having that multiple six-figure income was to continue trading time for money on that left side. See, it doesn't matter how much money you make. If you're trading time for money, you're still on the left side. It doesn't matter if you're blue collar, white collar, surgeon, or a hairstylist. You still have to show up to get paid. But on the right-hand side, I thought that you had to have tremendous wealth to invest or purchase real estate. You had to have significant knowledge of investing that I didn't have, or be a huge risk taker to create a legacy of money that continues to make money for you even when you walk away. To me, that wasn't attainable. I'm a walking, talking example of how attainable it actually is. And I'm going to give you, well, let me take a step back. That right-hand side of the quadrant with the business owners and the investors, that's 5% of the people, guys, but it's 95% of the wealth. On that right-hand side of the quadrant, these people can walk away from their business today and still get paid, right? I think about all these poor people that we depend on, even like our healthcare, not our healthcare, our childcare scenario where the schools are being shut down, and these daycare teachers, they no longer have jobs, right? The stores that are closing down, people aren't employed where they're trading time for money. I don't know about you, but I want to be on the right-hand side, which is where I live and where I would like to stay. But it's only 5% of the people, but 95% of the wealth. So how do we get there? So real quickly, Isagenix, and I think due to time, I'm probably going to, I've got plenty other slides, but I'm going to just talk you through these core components about how Isagenix pairs nicely with the Robert Kiyosaki cash flow quadrant. And then given our technical difficulties, I don't want to make the call be drawn out too long, but we can always revisit, and Christine and I can rerun this presentation and make it a little bit more condensed, and we can get into more depths of the financial model. But what you will see is that Isagenix offers linear income, just like traditional sales, just like traditional business, where if you make a sale, you make an income. So you make a sale. Some of my new associates, they go out and they introduce new people to the product. The company says, thank you. They give them an introductory bonus because they've introduced someone to the product. We also have something called rank advancement bonuses, similar to traditional sales model, where as you grow your business and you grow in rank, and as you grow in rank, the company is going to compensate you and celebrate your success. However, that's still a one-time transaction, right? You're not you're not making money while you're sleeping. Thirdly, we have the leadership pools. And actually we've rejiggered even our compensation model from there, but traditionally we've had leadership pools where as you grow and your team grows, you're compensated on the growth of your team. So this is, guys, this is traditional sales. We have the left-hand side of the quadrant. So I'm not saying we don't have it. For sure we have it. And I actually love the left-hand side of the quadrant because it gets new people excited about the income opportunity. They can literally open a business today and get paid tomorrow in 18 countries. And the products get shipped, right? It is a turnkey business that is super low risk. The only cost to doing business with the company is that you eat the product. Like my husband and I laugh every year when we file our taxes because the cost of doing this six-figure business is we eat food that helps us feel better and perform well and stay healthy. And then we write it off. That's the cost of doing business. About $160, $170 a month. Redirected spend from your pantry to super clean foods, right? You're going to spend the money anyway. So I like to say that really the cost of business is nothing but good health, right? That's linear income. A lot of people on my team love to play over there. I've got a lot of people who make a couple of thousand to almost $50,000 a year on that left-hand side of the quadrant, still working full-time, loving the money that comes in on the side, and they'll stay there, right? But then there's that 5% of people who really gun it and want and show up and want to grow an income producing asset for themselves, like myself and so many who've gone before me and that are going after me. That's the legacy income. And that's what happens on the right-hand side of the quadrant. And that is what I call your paycheck with Isagenix each week. It is what we call the profit share. So when you build a network of consumers who use, eat, love, and share these products, you actually begin to participate in the profit share of the company. You simply have to participate as a committed consumer, consuming that about $160, $170 a month of product that you are going to eat and consume in your house anyway. When you do that and share with two people, you unleash the compensation model for the company where you begin to profit share and they give you 6%. How does this work in compound fashion? How does it work in a way that you double that penny every day and it gets to millions by the end of the month? How does that work? How does a 6% profit share for someone like me, how does it become so lucrative? I personally have introduced less than 300 people to Isagenix over a period of about 5 years. So I, on average, enroll 3 to 5 people a month, right? But in my business center, I have over 5,000 people in my organization. Those numbers should astound you, because that is how our compensation model works. Our company allows, what we do is our teams actually share as a group effort, building our businesses together. So Christine and I are working together, right? So it's not me who put 5,000 people in the system that are eating and loving these products. It was a group effort. So you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And that compound effect begins to take effect as you begin introducing people to the product, who then share it with other people, right? And so you go to bed on a Saturday and you wake up on a Sunday, and 20 people have enrolled, new people introduce them to the products within your team, right? Because it's a group effort and everyone shares that volume. Again, I'm not going to get into the weeds on that tonight. I have great slides that we can come back to at a later time. But it's willable. My husband's name is on my position. If something were to happen to me tomorrow, I pay the mortgage on this house. I pay the car payment in this house. And so I can rest assured that if something happened to me, God forbid, at least my husband's not scrambling, not only mourning the loss of his wife and the mother to his children, but also trying to figure out what he's going to do with the house and the car, right? Our lawyer couldn't even understand it when we were trying to explain it. Needed to be written in the will. And he's like, what do you mean? I mean, if you passed away, your business would kind of come unraveled. And we're like, no, it's an income producing asset. We have a business of over 5,000 people who every week have products shipped to their house, to their front doorstep, that they eat, love, and share, whether I exist or not. And that is the right-hand side of the quadrant that I want to highlight for you and underscore, is that when you move to the right-hand side of the quadrant, no longer are you the most important aspect of your business, right? So that if you want to go to Maine for a month with your kids and work on an island and work in the pockets of your time, your business is going to move, right? Because you aren't the most important person making the decisions in that business. It's self-proliferating. There's no washouts. So if some of you come from other network marketing companies, there's no washouts. There's no levels. There's unlimited earning potential with this company. So I'm here to tell you that when you really get into studying the model of the Robert Kiyosaki model of that cash flow quadrant, of that legacy income, that leveraged income, that make the money while you sleep income is true. It happens. It's happened for me. We are the #1 income earning team in the world for a reason. We have all the tools and processes put in place. And that's why we are so successful. My personal sponsor was recognized as a 300th millionaire with the company. Her personal sponsor was recognized a couple weeks later as one of the next millionaires in the company. We're a successful team because we take this business seriously. We know the lives we're impacting from a health standpoint, but we also know the financial freedom that we can create. Our team is launching a training in just a couple of weeks, where it's really turnkey over a 6-week program. We show you the ropes. We teach you and coach you how to grow this business at scale in the pockets of your time. We keep in mind that you're working full-time like we were when we got started. So with that, I will close on how do you get started. So some of you maybe are like, okay, I'm kind of curious, but there's a lot to still be learned. Guys, there's no risk. You're stuck at home right now anyway. You're ordering and you're ordering stuff being shipped to your house. A lot of us have eaten too much junk to begin with. The way you get started with this business is to simply become a product user. All you have to do is open a wholesale account, just like you would at Costco, and have some products shipped to your house. Try them over the next month. Get plugged into our training, and that's where it all starts. That is where this business starts, and then you teach other people how to do the same thing. We have many categories that you can get started in, whether it's weight loss, performance, vitality and well-being, personal care, and obviously we just talked about the financial wellness piece of it. So with that, I am going to stop sharing my screen, see what we have in the slides. Do share more on the comp plan later. Yes. Yeah, so we do these calls every 2 weeks. So next time we will certainly get it a little bit tighter. I apologize. I just want to honor that we've been on the call for almost an hour now. with the technology glitches and everything. So we will be back for more, for you guys to learn more. And certainly reach out to the person who invited you to the call. We have lots of recordings and information about the compensation model that you can learn at a later time. Everyone, please stay safe. You've heard this a million times, but wash your hands and just stay safe and enjoy. Gosh, we're so blessed. Enjoy this pause. I'm calling it the pause. There is no more hustle and bustle, like getting my kids from one event to another. The weekends are truly about family. You know, as much as we can complain, I'm kind of going off on preaching right now, but I think sometimes we get to a point where we're like, our kids are an inconvenience, and like, they are not an inconvenience. They are a blessing. And we need to let them know what a blessing it is that we have this time with them. It's precious time. To just nurture those relationships and give us that time to be together, the togetherness, and figure it out. And just love on each other while we can. More hugs, more snuggles, more tickles. So you guys have a great rest of your week, and reach out to the person that invited you to the call if you've got some questions. All right, bye-bye.